Alrighty, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, or what am I trying to even say? I'm tired and I'm hungry, but whatever. Welcome
You should
back.
have had some dinner.
I should have had some dinner, but I soldiered on, and now you're back, so that's good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
see, I had a couple other people to cook dinner for, so,
yes, helps when you have an excuse like that. But what we're heading into now, Alpha Sydney and Qlimax. We've just seen Qlimax. Just to, I guess, fill you in on things, it was a pretty interesting game, actually, between Qlimax and Skyfire. We saw Qlimax get a 7-0 lead, and then it went to 13-7 in favor of Skyfire, and then Qlimax closed it out 16-13. So, yeah, it was an interesting game, nonetheless.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. There's some parallels to the Atletico game as well, because obviously there was quite a number of instances in that match where there were streaks of rounds involving Climax either getting a whole bunch or losing a whole bunch. So it seems to me like consistency or getting back into matches is what they struggle with.
Yeah. But anyway, they made it through, and they're up against Alpha Sydney here. There was some issues that they had, but it seems to have, I guess, been working out. Obviously, Alistair as well. I mean, to kind of, I guess, just fill you in, I guess, again, Alistair was playing pretty well. Inns as well. Urki was doing reasonably well. I think they were all pretty. They all had their rounds. So it was good to see for Qlimax. But now going up against Alpha Sydney, I dare say we're a little bit more of a difficult prospect than Skyfire.
Yeah, no, I would certainly agree with that as well. Just looking at the result after Sydney getting over Foe or Fox, whatever you want to call it. I'm going with Foe. 16-6 as well to make it into this match. So that's a pretty good result as well after a team who have done a lot of surprising today. Anyway, we'll get stuck into it, into the knife round, of course, and the map does too, as you can see. Alpha Sydney versus Qlimax, and the exchange of stabs, as we always see at the start of these rounds. Not a lot going on, really. Stab, mix, stab, stab, stab.
Yes. Always difficult to cast the knife round.
Oh, look, that guy's trying to knife that guy.
No way.
Alpha Sydney choosing to stay, so that's pretty good. So they'll be on the CT side, so that's not a bad decision. I mean, Dust 2 is pretty much a balanced map, really. It's as balanced as it's going to get. So
yeah,
it's not really a win or a loss when you do the knife round on this map. But they will be starting CT, that is Alpha Sydney, of course, and they're coming up against Qlimax crew. And they are opting for Urki. It looks like pretty much a full armor setup there. Running with the block train, and it's the same on the CT side except for USPs and a defuse kit on infrequent, and it's going to be a quick B.
Yeah, interesting that they've got all that armor, but we'll get back to that after we watch Church trying to defend this. He finds a double kill there. Steege is going to grab one in response. Gratisfaction also finding one, so the big bomb site completely opened here. What? That was a nice shot coming out from Steege. Wow.
Quick rotate though comes from behind the tunnels though. Leah's picking up Gratisfaction. It's a 2 versus 2 now, but everyone knows where everyone is. The bomb is yet to go down, so that's going to work in Qlimax's favour a little bit.
Yeah, looking like they're actually a little bit more interested in rotating across the A-bomb site rather than taking these little duels. So probably a good option in the end there, but they are going to be a little bit slower than infrequent, and Liaz is going to be able to catch out one of those players in CT as well. So really good read actually coming out here from Alpha Sydney. It's going to make things pretty difficult for Qlimax to negotiate. The first frag though, it will go to Qlimax. Alistair picking that one up. And now infrequent in a 1 versus 2 has to find one of these 1v1s relatively shortly. Knows exactly where Steege is, and Steege really only one shot away from death. He is going to go down there, but Alistair, good rotate coming up there from short. He's going to find that that final frag. What I want to go back to though is interesting that we saw the 5 Glocks because you know, with the Glock nerf, and a lot of people have been saying that now the terrorists might want to go a little bit more with those P250s. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I guess it's probably going to remain with the Glock. The Glock meta is probably going to remain on the T side just for the aim punch. It's too strong, so it comes down. I don't use the term luck really, but it sort of comes down to a bit of luck in some instances as well. So you can see a default setup from the Qlimax crew, and it looks like Sonic's going to catch a grip there, lovely there, and is of course throwing that one for him. So I'd imagine at this stage that the Glock meter is probably going to stay unless there's some changes to armor in terms of aim punch and whatnot.
Alrighty, well, let's get back into this round. As we've seen Qlimax already finding the first 2 frags infrequent. Nice headshot with the Deagle there, but he's going to go down straight away. Faction, in the meanwhile, has also found Lias. And Kyoto, the sole survivor here for Alpha Sydney, but not for long as he goes down there to Steege as well. So 2 rounds on the board now for Qlimax.
Yeah, early days, of course. That was a pistol buy, though, from the Alpha Sydney guys. So they're going to definitely probably full eco. We can see Chutch has picked up a P250. He just got a couple of kills, or a kill in that time, which has allowed him to do as such. Greatest Faction running with a scout that he picked up at the end of the last round. It looks like it's going to be a quick B again.
Yeah, loving the quick B entries here. It's Erky around the corner to Clark, taking down Chutch there. Ines is going to grab one with the Molotov from somewhere, but Erky finding the double kill, I think, is the main man at the moment there for Qlimax as they get onto that B bomb side. The bomb actually running all the way out into mid as well, rather than being placed rather on the B bomb side. So interesting, but it doesn't matter in the end. It's going to be Qlimax you'd expect picking up this one.
Greatest Faction having a little bit of the Az here in a T-spawn, and Greatest Faction gets some backup in the form of Erky, who picks up the nice little cash bonus $600 with the SMG kill. So moving into the first buy round here for the Alpha Sydney guys on the CT side, they're running with the 5 rifle setup, and we'll see whether what exactly to sort of decide to do in terms of setup here. So Qlimax, Greatest Faction's watching the cross. He's picked up 2 on the site, and we've got a boosted short as well as the first round of CT.
Yeah, the Qlimax guys just playing a pretty default setup here. Nothing too crazy just yet. It's getting a bit of control in towards mid, trying to make their way down in towards mid doors as well. So we'll see what they can do once they get in towards the CT side of mid, if they do decide to go there, which may not in the end be the case as they start to head up short as well. There is a smoke here from Alpha Sydney to slow things down just a little bit. A grenade going to go and tag Alistair up just a little bit as well. But again, it's relatively slow gameplay here from Qlimax.
Yeah, they're just holding a default here, trying to work that a short area, but it's not really proving too fruitful for them at the moment. The grenades coming through from Kyoto with the smoke now as well, just to hold it off a bit. Greatest Faction's trying to sneak through the smoke with the AWP that he has. Not really coming up with anything just yet, so trying to flash out someone now, trying to step out, see what he can find.
A nice resmoke coming out there from Liaz, pretty late in the round, and that's going to really slow things down here for Qlimax, unless they decide they want to run through a smoke, which is generally speaking not advised, but I think that's pretty much their only option in this respect, because they've only got 30 seconds left. It's going to be Qlimax pushing through there. Erky will find one frag onto infrequent, and it's back to a 4 versus 4. Kyoto peeking up from the CT area. He's going to find one. Liaz, in the meanwhile, has got a good crossfire setup, has found himself 2 kills. Steege did grab one, but it's back to a 1 versus 3 here for Alpha Sydney, and looking like they're going to pick up the first rifle round. Indeed, they do. Liaz finding 3 in that round. Very nice play from him.
Very patient from him, playing from Goose there, just waited for the opponents to come to him. The first one, Greatest Faction, going through, not checking that corner there. I mean, probably should have the first through to that, and that ended up being the round towards Alpha Sydney, the key play there in that round. So, again, the default coming up here, we've got a scout instead of an AWP on Greatest Faction, and AKs for the rest of the Qlimax crew. And infrequent getting the AWP that was picked up from the Az at the end of the round there. And again, changing up the default setup here from the CTs. We've got one down the long, one at CT spawn, and one sitting on basically in between long and short. Sorry, A site really there. But Ince picking up a smoke kill right there into B site. So that's going to change the setup. Yeah.
He did take a bit of damage for his trouble, but getting the headshot onto Sonic, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that one. Greatest Faction will take a little bit of damage off that grenade as well, but really not too bad for him. See what Infrequent can do as they try to cross short. They're deciding to fall back off a bomb site again. So at the moment, Qlimax just waiting. Slowly but surely deciding they want to go. Seems like maybe a mid-take is on the cards here.
Yeah, definitely. So Infrequent will probably have to drop his aim here. It's not really, hasn't been called yet. The smoke's come down now, so pushing up towards B. It's a lot of work here for Kyoto and Chutch.
Alrighty, Steege is going to find the first frag as they enter onto the bomb site. Erky will grab the second there onto Chutch, and that is going to, that B bomb site completely open here for Qlimax. The bomb will go down, and these final 2 players for Alpha Sydney definitely going to be looking to save their rifles.
And it should be a chase here from Qlimax, and I think they're starting to move out as well. They're both hiding down in the long area, so it's a lot of work, a lot of distance to cover at least for Qlimax. But they're willing to hunt in a pack by the looks of things. Of course, they want to chase and get these guns because the money will be reset here for Alpha Sydney. So they'll have very little cash at the end of this round because they're only getting 1,400 for this first round loss bonus as it goes.
Yeah, this is looking okay for Qlimax, but we did see them obviously get that good bit of a start in the last map, and then things started to go the way of their opposition. So, still a little bit of an interesting dynamic to play out here, I feel, for Qlimax.
I certainly agree with that as well. It would be interesting to see whether they can do any damage this round. They've got the FAMAS, the M4, and the AWP that they saved from last round, and a forced pistol buy from Kyoto and Chunch. And this time the default's a little bit different. It's trending towards B with just Gratisfaction. I think it is spotting from spawn. No, sorry, it's Alistair spotting from spawn. So they're expecting an eco here, and they're going to get a force buy instead.
Infrequent will find the first frag there onto Gratisfaction, so force buy for now working out for Alpha Sydney, and the entry onto the B-bomb site is going to be attempted here for Qlimax. 4 players already out onto the site, but not really getting anywhere just yet. Urki, though, does manage to take down Infrequent. Sonic now has to peek around the corner and see what he can get done. He grabs 1 frag, which is very important. Having said that, though, the bomb has already gone down here for Qlimax, so it is a 3 versus 4 retake. Alpha Sydney, though, going to be locked out just for the moment with some smokes. Might be advisable to send 1 player up there in towards tunnels, but at the moment, all 4 of them looking like they are going to be coming straight through the window and through the mid doors. Chutch will find 1. Liaz finding another on the retake. Now Steege, 1 versus 3. This is going to be tough. Oh, they almost lined up for him, but not quite. As we do see Alpha Sydney closing out that round as well.
They're not going to defuse. They didn't have a kit, so they're not going to get the round there. So Qlimax is going to pick up their 5th round. Even the Chutch did have a kit, but he didn't have enough time to go back there. So whilst it was a successful retake, it was not a successful round win for that. And they're going to put them back onto a second eco now. Well, not really a second eco, but they forced in the previous round. Now they're going to have to eco fully here, Alpha Sydney. So there should be another round into the bag of Qlimax, and Urki has picked up on this, the money situation that is, pretty well. He's got the Mag 10 now.
Yep, the eco coming out for Alpha. They do have that AK to work with. So, well, as I say that, it's going to be ins to take down Chutch, and there goes the AK. There goes a couple more frags in the favour of Qlimax, and the B-bomb site once again completely open here for Qlimax, and they get the bomb down. Alpha Sydney, they've got the USPs, the P250 to work with, but really, what are you going to do, Mike? What are you going to do?
It's really, really hard to defend rushes with no grenades whatsoever. You've got to, I guess, get lucky in terms of the fact that you're able to turn away from flash and step out at the perfect timing as to how it works. But other than that, you're pretty much in a world of hurt with flashes and molotovs coming your direction. Kyoto finally getting the kill there on Urki as he pushes up, trying to get that money bonus kills from that Mac 10, but not to be. And Kyoto gets close, but no cigar ultimately on stage, who picks up the last one there for a 6 now in favour of Qlimax. And yeah, looking very strong at this point. AWP coming back out for Infrequent on the Alpha Sydney side. Leo's not yet purchasing, but he's going to go for the M4 as well.
Yeah, no head armor for a few of those players on Alpha Sydney. Shouldn't matter too much. The double op setup and the rifles, obviously, for Qlimax going to be one-shot headshot. Anyway, Steege, though, has taken a fair bit of damage already.
Yeah, he just looked for a bit of a pick. Put on a little bit of damage along at the start. But I think it was 2 or even possibly 3 heading towards along right at the start of the round from Alpha Sydney. So they've staved off that at the moment. It looks like it was smoke coming out towards long, although Steve failed with that one. So they're just really doing the default. No pressure really whatsoever from B at this stage. It's just now going to put a little bit of pressure on B just to keep a rotator off. And really in this sort of scenario, you need to get a frag if you really want to do anything here. We want to commit to a particular bomb site.
Yeah, well, Qlimax doing what they can, but it's going to be difficult. We do see Sonic, though, finding the first frag onto Inns. He's on the wrong bomb site, so might draw perhaps a rotate across from Alpha Sydney. Not quite going to happen, though. Liaz will find one frag there onto Gratisfaction. I think very good for Alpha Sydney now, 3 versus 5, and they've got some decent positioning. Alistair just going to find an easy frag there onto Chutch. Urki bringing it back to a 3 versus 3, so Interesting stuff here for Qlimax. They're just starting to draw this round back and slowly but surely making their way onto the A bomb site. The bomb is going to be planted as well. So now Alpha Sydney in a retake situation. And I'd have to say, Qlimax looking reasonably okay now.
Yeah, the important player for Alpha Sydney in this scenario is Liaz coming back from ace long, but he gets taken down by Herky there. So play there, and this should be a round win for Qlimax unless they really stuff this one up, basically.
Yep, Steve's going to find a frag there as well onto Sonic. Kyoto doing what he can. He's picked up an AWP, and I think he's going to try and save this one. Yeah, it looks like he's heading down towards pit.
Yeah, good play there from there. It's not enough time on the clock.
Yeah,
and you can certainly save this one there. So Qlimax again picking up another round, so that money bonus is starting to stack up. Will it be another? It won't be another buy though from the CTs. It's pretty brutal on the CT side overall in terms of economy. It's much easier to be forced into an eco scenario than on the T side. It's much harder to force play effectively.
Yeah, I mean, again, a pretty weak buy from Alpha Sydney, and Qlimax, they seem to tend to go towards this B bomb site when they feel that they've got a pretty easy round in the bag, i.e. on those anti-eco rounds, and well, that's gonna make it a little bit more difficult. And we see Kyoto find a frag onto Gratisfaction and another one there onto Alistair, so doing good work, and that's what you need to do when you are the player with the AWP in the eco situation. Urki will farm one onto Infrequent there and open up that A-bomb site. But still, a good start here from Alpha Sydney. They've managed to find 2 AWPs now. So,
yeah, they're going to have to run onto this site here. Liaz again playing for the long is kind of important there. He shows early, but that'll at least take the attention away from Short. Church gets taken down by In, so this is looking better for Qlimax now.
it is, but it is still a 3 versus 3 retake here.
They'll just save these AWPs, I reckon.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that would be the reasonable assumption, but it does appear that Alpha Sydney is actually going for this retake. Yoyo's going to find one. Urki is going to find the kill there though onto Les and getting himself a double kill onto Kyoto. So, yeah, I think it might have been a better idea to probably just save those 2 AWPs, but Alpha Sydney not too keen on that, and it didn't work out in the end.
Yeah, there's no actual way of winning that round in terms of left getting the kills and the defuse. Qlimax would have just played the bomb timer. The guy Short would have just played the bomb timer. So it would have been smarter to leg it in that scenario and save those AWPs. Looks like a quick long push coming out here. Just trying to get someone out in the long.
Yeah, Qlimax going very quickly onto long, as you said. Ins and Urki finding one apiece with a Molotov and a grenade as well. Interesting stuff. Qlimax complete control of that long area, though Alpha Sydney are starting to rotate across onto that A bomb site. They do have everyone stuck down in CT though, so that's definitely not where you want to be once those smokes start coming across. Church stuck here, seen his teammate fall, and I think in this situation probably saving that AWP would be a reasonable idea. Does appear that that is going to be what is going to happen here for Alpha Sydney as well. The M4 as well being saved by Sonic, but Qlimax looking like they might be keen on hunting these couple of players. I think they've got the economy to really be able to do so. They do lose ins there, but still, they should be able to hunt these 2.
Oh, lovely self-flash there by Stage, just getting himself killed for Sonic there as well. I would like to, and Chutch going down, Chutch being down Alistair as well, so it's a good save here by these 2 players, it'll be important moving forward. But I would like to point out actually the change of pace there from Qlimax, opting for having the spawn for it, opting for a nice quick long push there. That was a really smart play, and it caught those players off guard from Alpha Sydney, so it's just turning into quite a very strong half from Qlimax, 9-1 now.
Certainly is, but we've already seen this situation once. I keep going back to it, but 13 rounds in a row for Skyfire was a little bit of maybe a wake-up call there for Qlimax. See what happens. Obviously, they're doing pretty well so far, so can't really fault them in this map just yet.
Correct. Alpha Sydney just missing the boost there, the aggressive up on the short, and then the AWP down into lowers. Not quite pulling off there in terms of getting Infrequent onto Liaz's head. So but he does pick off the first pick now, and I just need to sit back, play it smartly here, and not get too cocky and poke somewhere where they shouldn't.
Yeah, we are going to be the Qlimax guys trying to start to push out into mid here. There is a decent crossfire set up for Alpha Sydney though. It's going to be Chutch to find 1 and 2. through the doors from the B-bomb site. Kyoto on the other side of that crossfire is going to find a frag onto Alistair. There's one player left alive here for Qlimax. It's Steege. He goes down to infrequent. Another very good round coming out for Alpha Sydney. They need a few more like that if they really want to get back into this half.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful. This is a key round in terms of their economy now. If it gets reset, the last 2 rounds will be eco for them. So that would be really, it'll be at a 13-2 sort of scenario for them in the end, which would not be good. So very critical round for Alpha Sydney to maintain contact in this map.
Yeah, interesting that Alpha Sydney sent 3 players down there to long, perhaps expecting a quick long entry from Qlimax that didn't here in the end, but rotated that player that is infrequent back up on towards the A-bomb site to watch short. And it turns out that that is a good idea because because Qlimax rather are going for that direction once again.
Frequent and Kyoto combining to kill Gratisfaction there. The smoke coming in there to delay action as well. It's not particularly good smoke, but it's going to do enough here. It's just going to hold them back.
Now, slowly but surely, or I guess just waiting now for Qlimax to make their move. They've already got that player disadvantage. Drop Kyoto pretty low, but still, a player on 16 HP is definitely better than a player that is dead. And that is going to be what the case is for Alpha Sydney. Steege is going to find that one onto Liaz, but a couple of trade frags coming out here for Alpha Sydney, looking like they're going to be strong on the defense. Though, having said that, Alsa and Ins sort of respond back relatively well and bring it back to a 2 versus 2. Kyoto is going to find one, even though he is on 16 HP. Sonic now pushing up from short as well. Going to make his way on towards that A-bomb site. The bomb not yet planted here for Ins. The Molotovs and the grenades going to be denying him positioning as well. This is entirely possible for Ins, but it is a very difficult situation. He's on full HP, has an AWP, needs to find a 1 versus 1. See what he can do. He's peeking up towards the site. He's going to be spotted out there by Kyoto. This is it. Bye-bye.
Correct. Well finished off there. Kyoto picking up a double kill on that round. But really that round was infrequent for Alpha Sydney. He did the early work in that round. So that was very important, like I mentioned, for economy as well. You can see now Qlimax probably scrape. I would recommend a pistol armor buy in this scenario. They're going to pick up 2,400 at the end of it, so they could get a reasonable play out of here, particularly if they get a bomb plant. It looks like they are going to go for something to get them a bomb plant in this scenario. It's going to be a quick B by the looks of things, and maybe one flanking through mid.
Yeah, the few times that Qlimax have done this, I think the quick B hasn't been a terrible strategy actually for them. So see how it works out. They've been sort of walled off there by the smoke, but I still expect they're going to want to go through here and head on towards that B bomb. So it's just giving Alpha Sydney a little bit more of time to get into their position. Sonic is going to find the first one. Chuch grabbing an easy kill. Sonic in the meanwhile has found himself the second one for the round, and I guess a pretty standard hold here for Alpha Sydney. Pretty reasonable job coming out from Sonic and Chuch there on that B bomb site. Erky, surely going to be going down very shortly.
There's dancing through the smoke there and finishing off. So a couple of rounds go the way of Alpha Sydney now, which is good for them. This will be the second last. No, sorry. This will be finishing off this half for us as well. So quick pause. We'll just, I guess, going through again what's happened thus far. It's been 3 rounds in favour of Qlimax before Alpha Sydney picked up the first gun round. But since then, fairly one-way traffic for 6 rounds for Qlimax as well. Getting one of those roles that they're sort of becoming known for in this tournament. And Alpha Sydney picking back at the last 3 rounds to bring the score 9-4 in the first half of this BlasterX Cup match.
Yeah, I mean, Qlimax have done a reasonable job on their T side. I think it's fair to say, but Alpha Sydney, if they can close out these last 2 rounds, they'll still be feeling relatively comfortable. They'll feel that they're in with a chance. You probably want to be looking more towards an 8-7 scoreline if you were on the CT side, but I guess that's how it is for Alpha Sydney. They have to make do with what they've got, and I still think they've got a reasonable amount of rounds on the board because going over to the T side on Dust 2 is not the worst prospect. So Alpha Sydney, I don't think they're out of this one just yet.
No, you're right. Particularly, they can pick up the last 2 rounds coming through here. Pick it back to 9-6. That's certainly workable. It's no insurmountable task, that's for sure. But if Qlimax pick up the last 2 rounds, you're going to look at 11-4, and that's quite a big difference in terms of mental impact on the scoreboard, as well as actually getting those amount of rounds. You have to win 12 on the side there, and that's starting to get into nuke CT territory.
It is. What is this? Is this attack pause or is this a PC issue? No one really said anything. I'm going to assume it's a PC issue. A little bit early to be taking attack pause at this point.
It would be an odd point in the half to take attacks as well.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Anyway, the unpause is going to be coming out here, so no harm done. A bit of fill, always fun.
So there's plenty left in the bucket.
No, save me.
More in the bucket. Anyway, we'll get back to the action because that's what you're all here for. So 9-4 now, Qlimax in the lead. And it looks like they're going for a default. A little bit of presence in actually Sonic's up a nicer angle here with the AWP. Doesn't hit the shot there as somebody comes dashing through. It was Alistair comes dashing through into lower dark. And now he's playing around a little bit with fire here in early mid.
Yeah, the Molotov goes down in mid. Smoke going down straight on top of it though, so no Molotov for you, Alpha Sydney, but at the moment Qlimax once again, a bit of, I guess, a bit of pressure on that mid-short area, really not getting too much out of it. Alistair has gone already down to 27 HP, so Qlimax just a little bit worse for wear in terms of their HP, but starting to make their way up short.
Yeah, opting for a short push here again is Qlimax. Looks like going to be going straight into a big old execute here onto the A side.
We'll see how it works out for them. In's just dropping down there into CT, see if he can catch anyone off guard. Does manage to take down Sonic there. The bomb fling planted as well. Very quickly here for Qlimax. As he's going to find 2 frags actually. Nice long range shot there onto Ins. And that's going to make things a little bit more favoured towards Alpha Sydney. But Steege there watching for the rotators in a nice little lurk position. He's going to take down Chutch, bringing it back to a 3 versus 3. All the Alpha Sydney players now coming from long. Going to make it a little bit more difficult. Generally speaking, a little bit easier to retake when you're coming from different positions, but we'll make do with what they've got. Gratisfaction's going to find a 2K. Steege will close out the final frag there as well, so another round on the board here for Qlimax. Could be looking at an 11-4. Let's have a look at the economy here for Alpha Sydney. It's reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah, should be able to drop it down for... Oh, he's got Famous. Yep, so 3 Famouses, M4, A4, and the AWP on Alpha Sydney side. Full AKs on Qlimax has been working pretty well for them. Good little execute there, dropping into CT spawn, changing up how they're taking that site. It was pretty well played there from Qlimax. They're showing a little bit of depth, but it is Dust 2. You don't have depth on Dust 2 at this point in Counter-Strike. They're probably fairly inexperienced.
Well, Steege trying to push into long there. He's going to be obviously going up against that smoke. Trying to see if he can get a bit of damage across to anyone from Alpha Sydney, but of course we know that there is no one on Alpha Sydney in that general direction. So another A short push looking like it might be on the cards here for Qlimax. Whether or not they are going to go for an execute is the other question. Might be a little bit more difficult because last time they had a little bit more to work with, but we'll see what happens. In's going to drop down straight away into CT once more. He finds a double kill. That is going to make the round a lot easier here for Qlimax, but we'll see what they can do on the defense. Lias has managed to find a kill there onto Alistair. Lom is going to go down as well. We do see Steege once again up in that little bit of a lurk position in mid, but rotating across towards long, and we'll be able to get behind a couple of these Alpha Sydney players as they make their way up towards the A-bite.
They're getting hit from all angles here. They're all on the A ramp now, and they've got the information there, so they're just going to play up the bomb timing here. Gratisfaction in that same spot again. Urki's lurking from short. He gets taken down by Liaz, who gets traded out by Gratisfaction, closing off the half there. 11-4 in favour of Max. Very strong performance. It's going to make the second half on the defensive side. Gives them a lot of options, a lot of rounds to play with to be able to notch up the 5 rounds. But I think we're probably going to end up seeing Qlimax take this one out at this point in time.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. We'll call it after the pistol round happens. Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll see what they say.
I do generally subscribe to the same belief, though, that I think Qlimax are looking pretty good here and should be able to close this one out. But not over just yet. So we'll see what happens.
Looks like it's going to be an execute, probably onto short here. They've got a couple of smokes here and some grenades as well. We'll see what comes through. But the boost, the counter is here from Alistair and Erky. They pick up one initially.
Yeah, Chutch is going to be able to trade out Alistair there, though, so it's a 4 versus 4, and Alpha Sydney making their way in towards mid now as well. Would be a pretty decent option to go towards that B bomb site if they can get in there. There's only one player on that site. Erky, though, with a nice peek over the smoke. He's going to find one, grabs two as Chutch tries to enter the window as well. Inns goes down on the B bomb site, but Alpha Sydney definitely looking a little bit worse for wear. Gratisfaction will find one onto Sonic there and finding two on Turtle. So a very good pistol round coming out there from Qlimax.
Yeah, that's make it pretty hard for Alpha Sydney to come back from this point, but of course it's not over until the fat lady sings, as they say, and Alpha Sydney are starting to feel the pressure a little bit. They're going to have to force by to make sure they're not going to fall out too far away in terms of scoreline in this match. So Tech9 train is coming out, flashes and smokes, and it looks like it's going to be some sort of maybe a short or a mid to B again.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place, actually, as Alpha Sydney, so we'll see what happens. But now making their way towards the mid doors.
I think it's going to be a mid to B fake, maybe, somewhere Kyoto is. No, it's going to be straight out mid to B hit.
Well, it's infrequent can hit anyone with this Eagle, and it's going to be Sonic, though, to start us off. Erky is going to send down infrequent Kyoto. Nice little spot there. We'll take down Siege as he tries to rotate across the big bomb site. We'll surely get this bomb down as well. So things actually looking quite good here for Alpha Sydney on their eco round. They've got the decent positioning in the big bomb site. They've got the bomb down, working in their favour, and they managed to secure a rifle and an SMG. So we'll see what happens. But he's going to start us off there on the retake. He finds one. He's finding another as well. And, well, bit of an anticlimactic situation there. Kyoto, though, is going to make a bit of a game of it. He's going to go down in the end, though. So, not a bad eco there from Alpha Sydney, but no, I feel like they had an opportunity to close it out there and didn't quite take it.
Yeah, they did. Certainly did there. Kyoto was just a little bit slow, and it's hard to tell that information wasn't passed to him, communicated to him early enough that it was two at the top of tunnels. Had he known that, they knew where the other position was, which is mid, they would have been able to push through a lot quicker and probably get one at least, if not two, from the flank behind there. But the timing just didn't quite work out in four in there, and Qlimax pick up the round. So 13-4 now in the favour, and that's put Alpha Sydney on a full eco, so they're going to be able to buy in the next round.
Alpha Sydney bearing down the barrel of a very difficult comeback if they want to bring this back. They're going to make their way out on towards the long area. Infrequent peeking in towards Pip. He's going to find the first frag there onto stage, and just to find a FAMAS. But really, not the gun you probably would have wanted. You probably would have wanted one of those M4s.
You can still make something happen with a FAMAS if you try hard enough, but I don't particularly like the weapon myself. Gratisfaction taking a couple of peeks down here with a scout. Picking up Chutch initially, so that's it back to a 4 versus a 4, so they'll be happy with that. And the bomb's still lurking down along, but Sonic is trying to work through in the mid. A lot of A presence at the moment, but it's starting to taper off a little bit for our Qlimax crew, that is.
Again, Alpha Sydney just being very slowly, and it's not going to work out for them in this situation as we see Erky finding Sonic there. Back to a 3 versus 4, and now they have to make their way towards that A bomb site all the way up long, having to deal with this scout of Gratisfaction. He's going to find the first frag in this little situation. Infrequent will trade him out there with that FAMAS, but Alistair is there for the trade in response, and Kyoto will go down. Now it's Infrequent versus 3. Alistair only on 3 HP though, and he does take down Erky, so Phil might be able to make something of this. He's going to do a little bit of damage across to Inns, but you'd have to favour Inns in this long-range battle with that weapon. Frequent. Now he's in a good position. He's got the bomb. He's going to be able to plant it. And it is a 1 versus 1. So this is certainly winnable here for Infrequent. And it would be a pretty big result, actually, for Alpha Sydney if he was able to close this one out, because it is, of course, remember, an eco round for Alpha. And it looks like he's going to be able to do it. Is big for Alpha Sydney.
Not like that was the ace for Infrequent there in the end as well. So whilst we knocked the FAMAS, he got a bit of work done there in the end. So really big round from Infrequent to play themselves back into it. But like you said, very important. The Qlimax have got a lot of rounds to play with here, so they're going to eco straight up. They're not going to be too fussed about what has just occurred. Infrequent picking up his favourite AWP now as well.
So Qlimax now going to be on the eco round. And we'll see what Inns can do. Oh, nice little shot into Liaz there in the B tunnels. But still, a lot of work to do for Qlimax if they want to close this one out. They do, of course, have only pistols to work with. Inns hasn't been able to recover that AK just yet, but he looks like he's pretty keen to get in there and grab it.
In pretty good picking up Alistair at the bottom of CT mid there. So Ince has pushed through now. He's got the information as well. So his teammates, you can see them rotating towards the A side because I know the hit's going to come in. If Steve can pick up one, maybe two, he gets one, gets the dink there as well. So Kyoto and Sonic combined for Urki as well. So it's a 2 versus 3 now, the 2 being on Qlimax. But they do have an AK and they'll pick up a second one here for Ince as well.
Yeah, this is a very good opportunity for Qlimax here to win an eco in response, but that's going to make things very difficult. That's Inns going down. The AK as well, I think more important to note, was in his hands. So now Gratisfaction really has only got the PT-50 to work with. He's going to walk straight into the sightline of Infrequent, but he managed to find the frag. So very good job for Gratisfaction. In the end, though, goes down to Sonic, and as expected, Alpha Sydney will be able to pick that one up, making it to 6 rounds for their favour.
Yeah, it looks like should be another eco here from Qlimax. I don't want to get too silly here with their money situation. So they're putting a little bit of investment in armor on Urki and some grenades. But overall, it's going to be pretty much another eco for them. I guess Alpha City here, just got to take it reasonably slow and just make sure they don't get caught out by any sorts of push, which is on our deep side. They don't get anything done, though.
Yeah.
Four frags going in favour of Alpha Sydney, so 5 still alive before Qlimax crew, and the last is Stage. He's on short.
Pretty good response there from Alpha Sydney. Once you see those guys charging straight at you, just spawn and get the easy frags.
And
that pad a little bit.
Rifles have nerfed for spray.
Well, still.
Yeah, they have, but yeah, no, it was nice. You can still get it done. They have been. The spread has certainly been increased, but you can still get it done if you're good at the recoil control. But that's going to put Qlimax onto their buy now. A lot of investment into this round. The double AWP setup, you can see 5,800 being spent on Alistair and 6,850 on Gratisfaction as well. So they're going to have to want to come away with something pretty big out of this round.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it works out. We have Stige. No, it's Inns actually on that B-bomb site solo. So a little interesting.
I'm certainly not against this as long as he keeps these flashes for later on and doesn't keep spinning his grenades early on for no real gain. I'm okay with a solo setup to start with.
Well, it's working out so far. Alpha Sydney are not too interested in heading over towards that B-bomb site, and really, got to say, not too interested in doing anything at the moment. They're just sort of hanging around in mid, trying to look for a pick, but really not going to happen just yet.
A little bit of exchange of fire in mid there. Gratisfaction getting tagged by Infrequent down to 20 there. It looks like they want to go out into this mid area now.
Yeah, they are going to make the entry on towards middle. They've got, of course, a smoke in towards CT there. Kyoto, really nice spam through the smoke there. He's going to find Gratisfaction, and that's going to make their life just a little bit easier. Now has to take down Inns, but it's going to be Inns to find the first frag. He's looking for another one. He's going to be able to grab that toe. Now we've got Liaz in the B-bomb site, as well as, actually all the Alpha Sydney players in the B-bomb site, and all the Qlimax players outside of the B-bomb site. So, going to be a retake here for Qlimax. And they have one person rotating up in towards tunnels as well. So good sort of stuff coming on here for Alpha Sydney. Inns is going to drop to a grenade. But this is going to be a tough retake now for Qlimax.
Time getting the better of them here.
They do need to move quickly. Siege will jump into the site, picking up one. Urki finds another. And the final frag is going to go over to Siege there as well with the USP. The defuse comes out. Qlimax will pick up their 14th round.
Indeed, putting them in a very strong position economically speaking. Qlimax coming out with a pause here and say quite why, but Alpha Sydney is still strong on the economy, so they're going to be able to fight back here. And Qlimax will be able to scrape together another buy, dropping a weapon or two here as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is quite good actually here for Alpha Sydney, so they're going to definitely be able to rebuy full buy up. Qlimax, their economy is not quite as crash up.
Yep, that's certainly going to be. They're going to be able to scrap out a buy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, but it's not going to be flash. And if they lose this one, they're going to be well and truly in reset mode as well, for economically speaking.
So, I mean, is this attack pause? Probably is at this
Yeah,
stage.
they haven't really said why as at this point.
All right. Anyway, I guess have a look at the bracket, see who's going up against who. Winner
But
of
the
this
winner
goes.
of this goes to Control. Okay?
Yes. Goes to Control VP. Try and get the words out. Goes to Control VP, and then the winner of that go up against Project 90 Elites in the finals. So, only a few games left today. 2 more after this one, probably.
Yeah, soon potentially 3. So
See what happens.
yeah, we'll see what happens as well. So it's a pretty good performance overall from Qlimax, though. It was a very impressive T half. I think it was at 11 rounds. Was it 11 in the end? Yeah.
It was 11. I've also kind of been good, I think, to watch Alpha Sydney. I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but I've been hearing a lot about them, so nice to be able to sit down and watch one of their games. Obviously, though, Qlimax certainly looking like the favoured team to be able to pick this game up in particular.
Certainly in the box seat to do so, but yeah, I'll go with you with Alpha Sydney. I myself haven't had a lot of opportunity to watch them just yet, but the names in here, Kyoto, Judge, they're both pretty strong players. Liaz as well has come up quite the rising star, as Cybergamer deemed. And Infrequent's pretty handy with that AWP as well, so he's rounds off that lineup pretty nicely there. But obviously, a team of sort of their experience and their time together and their level is going to have your ups and downs, and so sometimes don't quite go the way that you'd like them.
I think to keep everyone updated on the reason for this pause, it's actually technical difficulties on Urki's side. He's having some ping issues. So
yes, technical difficulty being that his ping's about 550 higher than what it previously was. So
seems to be settling down now.
It is 7:20 on Sunday night in Australia, and that is notoriously bad time for such things as people like to jump on Netflix and chill.
Can't believe you just said that on stream.
It doesn't matter, we're going back live now, so rolling into the round, and to state the obvious, Alpha Sydney need to pick this one up, otherwise Qlimax will be on the draw point at the very least and be in a very strong position. But they do have the economy on their side at this point to continue putting on pressure on a Qlimax.
Alright, well, a bit of a damage trade already going across. We see Infrequent down onto 33, Ins on 36. So, not really favouring either side, I guess, but Qlimax perhaps just slightly favoured in that respect. 3 HP the difference.
Yeah, much of a muchness, but you know, these days that could be the difference between dying or living to a grenade if it happens to land within 0.3 of a centimetre of you.
Okay, looking like Alpha Sydney want to head onto this B bomb site. We do see Ins. He was in a reasonable position to find a frag there. Not quite able to close out. Chutch, though, survived on 22 HP, and the B bomb site once again in the favour of the T side. That is Alpha Sydney getting the bomb down. And I think Qlimax here probably making the wise decision to try and retake this. The B bomb site notorious for difficult to retake once the terrorists have managed to get in there, and especially at a player disadvantage. I don't think it's a very good idea to go for it.
You know, you're certainly right there. It's a pretty poor idea, really. And they had no map presence whatsoever outside B, so they were all pegged into CT spawn with the smoke going off. So it would be a high risk play to get in there with the potential of someone lurking in mid. So really a good round there from Alpha Sydney. And Vince was able to pick up the first kill there on Chutch. It would have been a little bit of a different story, but was not to be. And Chutch was able to snap across there pretty nicely, actually, I have to say with that. Okay, so 14-8 now, Alpha City picking back around. That's going to force Qlimax back onto the eco.
So, before this game, we did actually discuss the fact that Qlimax has had some difficulties closing game out. And, well, what do you know? It's happening again.
Yeah, you're certainly right. The first frag of the round goes to Infrequent through the doors from spawn. The second one goes towards Qlimax. Liaz trades that back onto Alistair now. So we're into a 3 versus 4 scenario, the 4 favouring Alpha Sydney. Stege is lurking up long. He's in a bit of no man's land. He doesn't. Liaz takes him down. That's pretty big for this round. That's going to mean Instant Urk probably should save at this point.
Well, I mean, Urki's got a flashbang. If he wants to save that, he could go for it. But I reckon Urki
It's many
probably.
ends, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you meant. But let's see what Urki decides to do here. Might decide if he wants to get
Flash.
some
It's too
exit
early.
frags.
Sonic's probably going to take him out here.
No, yeah. Gonna get a bit of damage across to Kyoto, but no harm done. Just a few bullets to the side. Kyoto's fine. Just gonna get the bomb down up on this A bomb side as well, and as expected, we'll see Inns trying to save that one. That AWP. Interesting for me, Alpha Sydney not really opting to chase him down just yet. I think they have the economy to be able to rebuy a few rifles if they lose them. So I would like to see
Yep.
them try and hunt him.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Be a pretty good idea, but it's not going to be the case. It's just going to be Urki trying to pick up one. Sonic, can he get the kill? Gets the dig, and the A punch wins, I feel.
Alright, so the bomb going to go off here for Alpha Sydney. 9 rounds now on the board. Qlimax, they've just been sitting on 14 rounds for, well, 2 rounds in a row, I guess. But they've been so close for a fair while. I think Qlimax probably just getting a little bit angry with themselves, maybe thinking we probably should have closed this out already.
Yeah, potentially. They're probably just trying to focus on what's ahead of them now. Get a little boost up on a short, but it's going to be a little bit fruitless here. Ince has got the AWP. He's going to take a wide peek now up towards the top of mid. But everything, the action's up at long, and the call comes through now. So Urki's lurking in the Gandalf spot.
Might be difficult here for Qlimax. They've allowed Alpha Sydney to get pretty much easily onto that bomb site. It is a relatively difficult situation when you're on the eco as well, but regardless, Alpha Sydney getting that bomb down. Qlimax now going to be sitting in a situation where they have to retake that, and Infrequent getting a nice shot there onto Steege is going to make things a little bit easier.
They really need to group up. Ince needs to make sure he saves this AWP and make sure that they save the AK as well. Well, the AWP goes the way of the death, and looks like Greatest Faction's going to lurk in mid trying to pick up Sonic, who comes flying over the stairs from a catwalk onto the Xbox, taking him down with a well-placed bullet.
Another pause coming out here. Have a look at the ping. Everyone seems alright.
I think it's Urk. I think he's still having issues.
Yeah.
And someone's going
is.
to come in and sub in for Urki. So he has left, and they've pulling in their sub. Shall we call him waning?
Yeah. I'll just call him Wan.
Wan.
No, I'm going to call him King.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's King.
He's a land king. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely what he's saying.
It's tough to come into this point, into a match at this point. 5 rounds left on the board. 14-10 the scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you an opportunity to come in, be the hero, find an easy round for your team. Who knows?
It's true.
See if you can make a difference.
You miss out on all the the setups that they've been doing, the information of how the other team's playing. That's the problem. You don't have that of knowledge as to what they've been doing.
That's alright, he's on CT side.
Yeah.
Been in one spot, shoot people when you see him. No
This
problem.
is why you're the play-by-play, you know.
Mate, I'm very good at Counter-Strike, I'll have you know.
I heard. What was the RWS?
I don't remember.
I think it was
I don't
6,
want to
wasn't it?
remember. Please. I made lots of friends on ESEA.
Well, that's because they all know you from casting. Anyway, I'm probably getting a little distracted here.
Well, there's not a whole lot happening, honest.
This is true. There's a little bit of a move up onto short now as well. The defense is pretty stretched out, really. They've got 2 sitting in B site. Mid is being watched from Stage and CT spawn. So you've just got the one in the pit who isn't really doing much. And Chutch gets that kill on Alistair. So if they go up here pretty hard, looks like they want to execute on that A. Thinking twice about it.
Yeah, Sonic making an entry in towards mid there as well, so this little bit of a player swap not quite working out for Qlimax just yet, as we see King going down as well on long to Kyoto, and everything going in the favour of Alpha Sydney. So, looking like perhaps, I mean, I don't want to say it, but maybe the comeback is real.
Perhaps the train has left the station and is on the track at this point. It's just the last one alive. It is going to have to try and save, but Kyoto says no to that. A nice headshot from the top of mid down into lower dark, and that's... How many rounds in a row now is that for Alpha Sydney, Jordan?
Just 4, but 7 and I guess, well, and then Qlimax 1, and then Alpha Sydney's 1-4. So almost 7 in a row, which is a bit more of a interesting look at things rather than just saying, oh, 4 in a row, because 4 in a row isn't really that good.
Well, it's going to be 5 in a row now, but it's a quick B dark push here, and in comes King as well. He hasn't been able to get some. Church and Sonic combining for 3 frags in total. Church picking up another one. It's just Siege left alive in mid. He gets taken by infrequent, and Eco has been taking care of 5 alive as well for Alpha Sydney. Not that their economy is any danger at this point.
No, it's actually huge. Probably one of the better economies that I've ever seen in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's certainly been very good. Well, that's that run of 5 rounds in a row now, with 3 previously before that. So, well and truly in control now from Alpha Sydney at this point.
But all it is going to take is 1 round for Qlimax to possibly get their way back into this, and this could be it. They found the first entry frag there, courtesy of Alistair. We'll see what Alpha Sydney can do in response. The smoke is going to come out here and slow them down a bit on short. They almost looked like they wanted to push through it, but decided that it would be better not to.
Yeah, all 4 going straight up short would probably be a bad option there. There's a lot of slight defense from A focused on that. There's no presence whatsoever at long from either team. Using that in this scenario would probably be a pretty good option, really, to just put a little bit more pressure on there. But Qlimax holding still. Looks like Alpha Sydney want to try and work out mid to B.
Yeah, going to be a pretty difficult task for Alpha Sydney here. They're relatively low. Need to get that mid smoke going. There's smoke into CT. It is there. But we've seen so many kills go to Qlimax from that CT area, despite it being smoked, that it's not a surprise to see Ins finding 1 there. King has found 1 onto Infrequent, and now it's going to be all down to Gratisfaction to find a frag as they enter onto the B bomb site. He won't be able to do that. And Kyoto... Sonic will get that bomb down, but now the 2 versus 3 retake even is on the cards here. A good Molotov coming across the back of site. Alistair will find Kyoto. Sonic doing what he can in this 1 versus 3. He's found 2 frags, but not quite going to be able to close out the 3rd there. And Wang, I don't know. I don't want to say it. King will close it out there. I almost said it. Anyway.
Caught up in the moment.
I got caught in the moment. Qlimax, courtesy of Ing. Gonna find a round there.
Yeah, look at the buy though from Alpha Sydney. There's a couple of Dak-Daks in here. They're going to spam down mid doors here. Look at it. Oh, straight away through the door headshot, and it's going to be a B rush here for sure. And it's going to split the defense pretty heavily here. 2 at long and 2 hitting towards B.
All right. So the B entry on the cards here for Alpha Sydney. Looks like it's working out. So going to be a quick response actually to that little bit of a loss round there, and actually this is going to work out quite well for Alpha Sydney because it's going to reset the economy here for Qlimax and make things relatively difficult. We can probably expect to see an OT here, Mike.
Yeah, I think we potentially could, and they're going to have to chase here. This is not, I mean, they've got enough to buy Dak-Daks again next round, and probably the round after that. Liaz is still sitting there with 11 of Liaz with $11,500. So actually these weapons down Alpha Sydney, this is the option. But they're not going to go for it. They really should. They should really punish them here. It'll give them a free round 100%.
Yeah, I can suspect that Kyoto is going to try and look down in towards long here, but I don't think they're going to be able to actually find a frag, which is a little bit lucky in the end there. I think for Qlimax, they're going to keep these 2 rifles, so that gives them an opening perhaps into this round. Getting
Dak again.
A little bit more interesting. Triple or double?
Triple.
Well, whatever it is, the Dak-Dak's not doing too much just yet.
Anyway.
They managed to cross okay, but another quick entry into the B-bomb site. Looks like it's what is going to happen here for Alpha Sydney. Oh, 2 great entry frags. No, 1 entry frag. Siege. It looks yellow from where I was looking, but no. Siege is going to find 2 frags there as Alpha Sydney try to enter onto the B-bomb site. So, a little bit better of a situation here for Qlimax, and perhaps trying to get those rifles out of the hands from those guys in the last round would have been a very important thing for Alpha Sydney. We'll have to see how the rest of this round goes. We are going to see Alistair starting to push up in towards it B. Pauls, and he's going to find a frag there onto Alistair, onto Infrequent even. Alistair being the one to find the frag. Sonic is going to get one in response. It's a 1 versus 3 here for Chach. He's going to need to come up very huge from Car, finding 1 kill, but not going to be able to find any more, and that will be Qlimax to close out the game, 16-13. So, wow. Probably took a little bit longer to get there than they needed to, but they got there in the end.
That's a mistake there that's potentially cost them the match from Alpha Sydney, not chasing down those weapons.
Hmm.
It really, I mean, Siege won that round for them with its 2 quick early kills. So that gave them the opportunity to get into that, well stopped, the opportunity to get that round that stopped that early push there, which delayed everything, which allowed the rotate and the flank there from C spawns. That's a case of what seems or could be seemed like a pretty small mistake, actually costing quite a lot there for Alpha Sydney.
Yeah, anyway, that is going to be that there for Qlimax Crew and Alpha Sydney. 16-13 going to Qlimax Crew, and they will be moving on to face Control Esports in the losers bracket finals, and then we'll see what happens from there. But we'll go to a break very shortly. Need to grab a little bit to eat, and then we'll be back to stream Control Esports versus Qlimax Crew. Winner of that one goes to the final. But break time. We'll be back very shortly. Stay tuned.